Hello everyone. So today we will be building a multi-tenant SaaS application. It is fully productive app, and we'll be building using Lovable.dev, and I'll be walking you through each step of how I used this particular app. Lovable.dev is an app which generates code. It's very good for creating applications on the cloud. You can build websites. As you can see here, I have already this app open in my system. I've also shared the invite code. If you want, you can try with me building the app, and whatever I'm discussing in this particular session you can try out in parallel. So I've shared in the chat the invite code, and with this invite code you will get 10 more credits. When you sign up you get 5 credits. 1 credit is for one chat message. So as you are seeing, this app is about building an app by typing chat as you do it in ChatGPT, and this also has paid version. So for free you get very limited number of chat messages, which is 5 per day, and so you have to use your chat messages very intelligently. And I have also provided you this invite code where now if you sign up using this invite code, you will get 10 more credits for free, and yes, which should be good starting point. And then later I will also share my affiliate code so that you can kind of also register if you want to kind of purchase the paid version. So no worries, this is not a sponsored video, and I was tracking the trend that there is a lot of AI code builders which are getting popular, and there are hundreds of videos over YouTube and various social media about how you can generate code very effectively, very fast, in few minutes. But I was skeptical about will it be able to develop a multi-tenant app. By multi-tenant I need a SaaS app which can host multiple customers and which has full features like any other app we have, for example salesforce.com, or we have a lot of other apps, HubSpot, in CRM space, in ERP space, various apps from Oracle and SAP. So can we build something of that sort, which is using a lot of database queries, showing dashboards, analytics. It is full of generating KPIs and giving valuable insights. So I mean a data-driven app. And so I took an example of I'm building a app which is a CRM extension. So this app is about reputation management, or you can also call it innovation management. Here organization may collect feedback from customers, and in the meantime I'm also adjusting my screen so that it is visible to you all well. And then as we will be building the UI, and I will be showing the step-by-step process of how I built this fully functional app, which is almost like a MVP in few days. So if I count, my total effort would be around 1 day work. So how I build a complete SaaS application, which is mostly now a minimum viable product, and it is ready for usability testing as well. So let me start showing you. So people who all are joining here, they may kind of share a chat message from what all places they are joining, and then also share that okay, whether they are familiar with Lovable already, or if they are first time users, no worries. I will be describing the process which I started from scratch, and applied all the system design technical concepts which I have learned from many decades of experience in big companies, and use these concepts to generate the application now. So let me start. I have given you the context and brief introduction. So I will start my project. So you see here I have built multiple projects and applications. So basically, if you are a first timer, what you need to do is you need to sign up into Lovable.dev, which is very simple, as you are signing up in any other application like Gmail or any other internet based application. You kind of provide your detail, email ID, and then you will be signing up. And once you are signed up, you will get something like this interface. So this is the landing page of Lovable, and here you see that okay, they are showing a prompt, showing a text box where you have to input a chat prompt. So here you see they say that okay, ask Lovable to create. It can create a portfolio site, or a web app, or a prototype, or an internal tool. So this is what the home page is saying. It's also saying you can create a dashboard. So this is one typing effect you see here, and this is a prompt which is like ChatGPT. You can mention what you want to create, and then it will create the particular application. So here, as you see, I have created the apps, various apps already. So I'm also not very, so I was not very much experienced with this particular tool. This tool is very intuitive. You can learn very fast, and you can start playing around. You can start using it, and this is the best way to learn. And definitely there are a lot of documentation also. A good amount of documentation is there, which is there is a community. There is learn is all about documentation, and there are tutorials. Still, a lot of tutorials are not going into too much of depth. It's this being a new application, there is not too much of resource, so that's why I'm covering this particular application from scratch, and showing you all the features and how I built a fully functional SaaS based application. And let me show you that first, so that you get an impression about what we are building and what would be the final output all like. So you see, this is the app which I built. It is loading. So as you see here, this is my complete dashboard app. Let me launch this. Yeah, I can show you here, and then you see here there is this is kind of a dashboard for all the feedbacks a customer receives for their organization. And here, as a user, when you log in, you can see what are the number of feedbacks. You see here nice animation, color coding, and also icons or emojis to depict what is this matrix all about. Say for example, positive feedback has a thumbs up emoji or icon. Issue has this warning symbol. And then this application is named as Insight Pulse. It is used to track, analyze, and respond to customer feedback effectively. So in one glance, in less than few seconds, you will be able to see that what is the sentiment of the customer for your company or product. So this is overall what is the completed application looks like. And then here you have various feedbacks, and this also uses AI. And what you can do is you can add a new feedback and fill up all the details and customer details as well, feedback details as well as customer details. So customer can enter their name, email, company, then the feedback type is there. There is different kinds of feedback type. These all can be customized as in any enterprise application. I haven't built a management app, but yes, definitely going forward, all these fields could be customizable. These also include AI features. So if there is some feedback which is already added, you can analyze, you can do the sentiment analysis, and you can do tagging, auto tagging, and for classification of the feedbacks. And then there is tags which are predefined. So feedback is about, is a bug report, or is it a feature request, or is it a general feedback, or is it a pricing related feedback, or usability issue. So all these are various options which have been provided. So yes, this is all about this particular app. There is an option to kind of edit and delete these feedbacks if a product manager wants. So this screen is for product manager, and as he is changing the message, for example, I'm just adding some message because this is a positive feedback. So thank you for I would say wonderful support provided. So I'm adding some positive message. So right now we see that this is saying positive, and there are some tags because this is a feature request. UI is clean and minimal, like heat map, permitting just add few more power features to stand out. So this is what AI has automatically classified it as a feature request. I can reanalyze this message because now I have added more feedback here, more text here, like thank you for wonderful support provided. So here the positivity rating has increased further. So it is plus 60%. If there is a negative feedback, then you will get negative percentage, and this is automatically tagged. And we can kind of remove some tags, and then when we regenerate this or reanalyze, it will add back, or you can save it by doing some manual editing. So this is app, and all the data is stored in database. So now let's talk about the process, how this app is built. So hope this is what you have not seen so far, such a fully functional app. And the beauty is someone can create multiple organizations. So for example, if I'm a consultant working for multiple organization, or I am looking to track multiple products, I can create here more organizations. An organization is like a tenant, and whenever a new user logs in, he will get a new tenant. And then you see here, this is another organization I'm managing the feedback for. And then same thing, you will see, you will have the collection of feedback for the other organizations as well. So it's not just a single tenant application. So this is what I meant by multi-tenant application, that this particular SaaS application is a cloud product, and it can host multiple customers, not just one customer, and it can be provided as a service, software as a service, and all the data is isolated. One customer do not see the data of the other customer. So this is what I mean by multi-tenant application. And then let's now discuss in depth about how this particular application was built from scratch. So let me again open a prompt here. Yeah, so this is, we are back into the home screen. So the application which I showed was built using Anthropic Claude as the model, and you see that the data, the UX design was also generated by Claude. So definitely a lot of refinement, a lot of feedback I have to provide. So humans are required here. And it was not that okay, one prompt was given and this particular app generated everything, because we are not there yet, because there are a lot of technical complexities, architectural decisions which has to be taken to build such a fully functional app. So let me start with I first started with creating a prompt for this particular app. So definitely first thing is you have to find out an idea what you want to build, and you have to start with writing a prompt. So what would be a prompt like? So let me show you in few seconds the prompt for this particular app. Yes. So basically the prompt was, I have told this particular app to generate. So I have said that create a AI powered app that helps an enterprise track customer feedback. So this is easy to understand problem. You can give more context as well. Then make sure customers can add feedback, include a description, type of feedback, customer name, list all feedbacks on the main page, make it sleek, right? So something, this is what the initial prompt I started with. Definitely, I researched about what all features I would need, and I then started improvising these particular prompts. But this is also a good starting point. So next time I felt that okay, let me also define what exactly the feature set I should add. So yes, if you don't have idea about what all features you want to build, you can start with some initial prompt, let the system suggest some ideas, and then you can proceed further. Right. So first step is you enter an initial prompt and it in the prompt box, and then you can also think about refining this prompt and adding more features. So if you know what are the key features, for example, I was clear that okay, I want features like add feedback, I want in the feedback form the name, type of feedback, feedback description. I wanted the feedback type to be positive or issue if there is a problem reported with the app or any of the product or service of the organization, that people can give the negative feedback or issue reporting. And then there could be neutral feedback also, which is just sharing some experience or suggestions which are neither positive or negative. Then I want the list of all the feedbacks so that someone can get into the details of the feedback. I want a statistics in the dashboard so that someone can get a quick overview, and in one glance someone can see that this particular application or in this application, through this application, how the sentiment for this particular company is. And it should be getting updated in the real time. There should be search, filtering. So all these features you can describe and create a list kind of. So there's no limit in the number of feedbacks or number of features which you can kind of put in. So next step was I improvised the prompt. So now this is a detailed prompt which I entered. Now to show you more effectively, let me try. Okay, so basically I wrote create a sleek, user-friendly, modern web app that helps customer feedback tracking. And then these features I described one by one. There were around 15 features, and I put that okay, add feedback. So all these feedback types I defined the complete listing, statistics, dashboard. So you have to act as a product manager and give them the list of features, and then once you are ready, you can hit this enter or submit, and this will generate the app fully functional code for you. So this is very simple interface, and you can generate websites, portfolio sites, business websites, business app, You can generate your project portfolio, your professional portfolio, or you can build your personal blogging site, or so there is a lot of things which you can build. You can build games as well. And so here you see here Supabase option. This is the backend. So backend is on Supabase. Supabase is another partner. So this is basically a cloud provider. It hosts Postgres database. So I'm just giving you one quick introduction of Supabase. Supabase is, as you see here, is a different app which is available in supabase.com. So you can create an account in Supabase as well, which is also very simple, straightforward. You have to sign up with your email and your password. These are the only two information which you have to provide, and then it will provide you an instance where you can run your database, and it is based on Postgres database. So here you see this is my database, and definitely a single database can be connected to multiple applications, so you don't have to always create a new project here. What is it called in Supabase? So you can create a single project and connect it with multiple apps. And once you do this, you see here this also provides REST APIs to all the database tables which you have created. So it allows you to access the REST APIs. So this is the backend. It's not just a database, it also provides REST endpoint. As you create tables, it will generate generic APIs for CRUD operations on the database. So you can do create, update, delete, read queries on any of the database tables which you will be created. So definitely to build some good application, fully feature rich application, you also need to understand database design principles properly, and it also supports authentication. So there are 4 major features which are there in Supabase. Number 1 is the database, which is a relational database. You can create tables, you can store data on the tables. Then there is authentication. You can build a login and sign out functionality for your application. There is a file storage also. So if you want to store data, if I want to kind of in future enhancements store attachments as feedback. No customer may want to give feedback in the form of document and they would like to attach. Then for that there is a storage. So this is basically a file storage which could be used to store files, which could be documents, text files, images, or videos, any kind of files. Then you have this real time, which is if you want something like chat, so real time communication, then you can have some kind of socket connection, WebSocket connection for real-time communication. So definitely in this particular app I'm using only the database and authentication mechanism. So other stuff is not used, which is file storage and real-time storage, but this particular database provides access to it. Now coming back to our app, so here you have this option. You can connect to your organization here and projects. So this is the interface. If you are building an app, so this is optional step. Either you can connect it, and if you don't connect it, you can do it later. So initially I did not connect it, my application to the database or Supabase in this particular case. Definitely you can choose any other REST server. If you already have some services hosted somewhere else, you can connect to that as well. So initially I did not connected it. As I built later, I connected it. So let me come back to my application. Let me demonstrate the authentication mechanism also, which is built in this particular application. So once you type in your prompt and hit enter, what you will get is you will get some UI like this. So you see here so much prompts and feedback inputs. These I have to provide to build this particular application effectively. So now let's go through all of these in detail. But yes, so on the left side you have all the interactions which you have done with this Lovable app for generating the code for the app. So once you have given the prompt, so here I might have given almost like 100 prompts. So for Supabase, a prompt is usually costs you around 20 cents, because when you purchase a license, you purchase it for $25, and for that you get 1 month of subscription and 100 credits, which means you can give 100 prompts. So yeah, the prompt could be anything. It could be a big prompt with say 15 feature, or I can also give a small prompt like modify this particular heading or add a logo, or if I do some small modification in one command, this is also counted as single credit. So you have to be really careful about how to give the commands, and this is what I will be covering here. I will give you tips and advise how to build it. So that's why initially I started with a smaller prompt. Then I felt that okay, let me give a list of all the features and help him let the Lovable decide and build the code for all the features one by one in single prompt, so that way I don't exhaust my credits, right? So but still you have to do a lot of refinements, and the code which it's generated will not be 100% error free, but still it will be in with very good quality. So yeah, these are all the interactions, because the interaction will involve your prompt, and then it also involves the thought process which this particular tool is taking. So it does a systematic thought process, and then it generates the app for you. So it describes all the steps which is being done. So let me share you more about this interface. So as you can see, this is my initial prompt. So build a sleek and modern AI-powered enterprise web app to track and manage customer feedback. So this is what I described. And as I said, initially I started with a small prompt, but then I kind of improvised this prompt, gave more thought about what all features I would want. So did some research. So this is a good step. So basically, if whatever idea you have, first try to validate this idea, see what all competitive products are there, or what you exactly want. Maybe do some research over the internet, find out what are the gaps in existing products, and then I felt that okay, this is a use case and is not fully solved, and is useful for wide range of customers, from small companies to big organizations. This is very important use case. So I have decided on the particular use case, and which is an extension. So then I put the feature list, keeping that in mind. So I had the add feedback form, and then what all I want to input, then what all different feedback types. More detailed you describe your app, better will be the output, and then you have to modify it less. So that way I gave a lot of instructions, and also I kept in mind that some ideas let the model generate. So yeah, as you see here, I had more ideas, but I didn't put all of them. I put things which were good enough, because you don't want a lot of code to be generated and then you get lost, and if it is not as per your requirement, then you have to do a lot of effort to either streamline it, and this makes it more difficult to manage, because you might have seen that meme that before ChatGPT, developers used to code maybe in their 8-hour day, 5 hours, and then debug 1 or 2 hours. But with ChatGPT, you code maybe 1 hour, but then debug 23 hours rest of the day. So I wanted to avoid that situation. So I started with a small prompt, and then I felt that, okay, I will start with some small feature and then keep it enhancing as my app will become more as per my need. So this way you also get more clarity, because even if you have well researched feature list, but how the features should behave, and will this be usable and intuitive for your clients, this is also very important. So that is what I did. So with this small prompt I started, and on the right side I then got the initial version of the code. So here let me come back and show you the interface. So here you see this is the sidebar. I can hide it, and when you hide it, you see here there is a top drop down. So here it shows that, okay, how many credits you have, then some settings, themes and all. So that's not that important. You have a history also, so you have a view history. When you click, you will see what all changes you have made. So this is great thing, because if one version I'm not good at, I'm not liking, I can revert to the previous version, right? So this way you have the entire history maintained and tracked for your application. So with the first prompt, the output, maybe I will share these prompts in the description or in the comments in the video. With the first prompt, what I got was something like this. This was the first prompt output which I got. So see here, I am able to go and view the history of the project. This is my first version. It was looking good enough. You see here, it is very impressive in the first glance itself. So you just enter the prompt and what you get is a UI like this. But here no signing was missing, no authentication was in place, there was no data populated, but everything was fully functional. So I had this add feedback form, and there were few fields. So initially only the customer name, feedback type, and description was there, and submit and cancel option was there, and there was no database. So here if I enter some say, let me give you some data, and if suppose say I put some customer name, I put some feedback, and so if this is some feedback, general feedback, I store it. So it also see here there is a customer feedback card, so someone can view all the feedbacks. So that was possible, but if you refresh this particular page, then this feedback is gone, because this was not stored in the database. But in my final version, that's not the case. So this was very initial version, and let me just say, if you click on restore this version, then this particular version will be restored, and the code part is also there. So to view the code, let me try making it smaller. So you can also view the code which is for your app. GitHub is also connected. So what it does is it creates in the GitHub all the source code. So it generates the source code using React. So this is how the source code is. So you have pages and index. So the code is also very well maintained. So you can see here, this is structured very well. So there is a text stack as well, and whatever code is generated. So this is my project, and in this particular project, if you see the code organization, there is a README file also. It got generated, and then I later modified the README file also for my documentation purpose. So here I talked about the project overview. So yeah, this is very good step. As you want to build some application, you create first an overview of what is the vision you have for building this particular application. So I had the vision that I want to build a modern enterprise application for tracking all the feedbacks. Then I want to also collaborate with customers, do innovation, and integrate these feedbacks to various business applications, for example, Salesforce, HubSpot, Atlassian Jira. And I want to build a complete lifecycle management app where from feedback to product roadmap, I will be able to build the entire flow for the customers. So I want a statistical dashboard, I want data driven decision making, so that based on the feedback, the CEO or product managers can take actions. So that's why this is dashboard oriented application. So this is the primary goal, key objectives, and then who are the end users. So my end users are product managers or teams who are engaging with customers. So I then defined the persona. I followed the design thinking. I will highly ask you to follow this, because these context, as you will be giving to the Lovable app, then it will get the context and it will suggest you better features, and it will design these features in a way which will be very usable. So basically, so that other steps which I would say, that you start with the project overview, you define the features, you define the personas. Even before defining the features, you should understand that what's the problem you are solving. So that's why I said begin with the project overview. What is the goal of your project? This is very important. And then what are the objectives, what you want to achieve with this particular application. And then you find out who is the target audience, who are the users of your product. So here for my product, it was the product managers, customer support teams, business executives. Business executives will be viewing the dashboard. Product managers will be looking into each and every feedback and deciding how to deal with them. Maybe they will be clustering multiple feedback. Customer support teams will be engaging with customers and collecting the feedbacks, and also they will be communicating if some of the feedback has been resolved. So all these are important stakeholders. And then definitely the customers would be entering the feedback, so either directly, or they will be telling the feedback to customer support representative, and they will be entering the feedback on behalf of the customer. So then next step, once I understand that okay, these are my personas, so this is a simplified version of all the documentation which I did as part of my research, but in a detailed manner. Personas should also have the profile of the users, and you should kind of personify all your users so that you can build empathy to all your users. So I did a detailed research, and I kind of created detailed personas, so that I understand the customers, because your application is not just there for 1.0. When you build an application, you will be maintaining it for multiple years and enhancing it, and your goal is to kind of make your customer successful. So if you put some images on these personas, then it is easier for you to remember. And when you kind of document all these things, like who is your customer, and what kind of person, because a customer, if your product is product for young people, if it's like a social media app, then most probably young people will be using it. So then you should be able to relate with the young people, and then your design should be such that it should be impressive for that particular segment of people. So you can adapt the taste. So this is one of the best practice of how you build an application which is successful and is liked by your users. Then now coming back to all these documents, the important part I kind of is stored in the GitHub, so that it's easier for me to collaborate, and probably if I get more funding and I make it a project, then these will be useful for me to build more features and collaborate with more developers and work in a team environment. So this I took care of, because that's very important when you start a project. So then these are the documentation which is auto generated by Lovable. So here they talk about that, okay, what's the code. So they talk about how do you run it. So one way to run it is through the app. Other way is you can run directly through GitHub. So and in your local machine, or you can run it in code spaces. So definitely this product is not just code which can only run in browser. It's a real application, so you can run it anywhere. So here they have given how to run it directly or run it from GitHub code spaces. I'll cover that later in this session. And this project is built with White. These are the frameworks which are used: TypeScript, React, Shadchan UI. This so for example, White is for building the application. It is something like npm, the build tool. Then you have TypeScript. TypeScript is a better version of JavaScript. JavaScript with the type safety, and React is the most popular UI framework. And then Shadchan UI is a framework which provides UI components. And then TailwindCSS is something like Bootstrap, but more customizable than Bootstrap. So you don't need to know all this, but if you know, I felt that at one point, as your application becomes complex, as is in my case now, it has multiple controls, multiple pages. So sometimes you will not be able to, with chat, easily communicate what you want to do. So at this particular stage, if I want to make any changes to UI, now what I do is, instead of typing the text as a prompt, I do designing in Figma, build some layout, and then suggest that, okay, please organize this layout as shown is this particular design, which is I will be adding as an image. So this is a great feature as well. In the prompt you can add, here there is a plus button, you can attach some document, right? And then these knowledge you can also put in this particular knowledge section of your project. So here there is an option where you can put the guidelines. So if you have some rules, coding standards, that also you can put, and you can also put some documentations in this particular knowledge database. So here you have options to do some settings as well as add some documents. So this is all about your interface. So here now they have this mobile app as well. You can build a mobile layout also, so that all the UI is responsive. So let me show you that particular feature as well. So we have covered Supabase, we have covered GitHub. There are some new features, which is the lab features. In this particular application, we covered about knowledge, we covered about adding attachments to this particular application, and there definitely history is there, and you can connect to a GitHub repository. And you can test your application. So for example, now this is in iPad or tablet view, and this is how it will look in mobile apps. So you see here, this is fully functional responsive user interface. Definitely some tweaking, is required, but most of the things works in different screen sizes, resolution. Yeah, definitely maybe I would like to reduce the sizes. This is a work which is for future, but still it is not that okay I have to start from scratch. Is not 100% responsive, but very close. So yeah, these adjustments I have to make. For example, I see here this drop down is cutting up on the right side, sign out button has been hidden, so maybe I have to restructure it. Maybe a left navigation bar I would have to introduce because some of the buttons are missing. But yes, the dashboard is looking good. Some layout adjustments I might have to do. But yes, most of the things, for example, this feedback is also looking good. Maybe some padding adjustments on the right. But yes, if I go to my tablet view, everything is perfect here, right? So this application is designed for tablets and desktop. So maybe, yeah, not all the use cases are important for mobile. So I may not mind that much for the mobile use case. So that could be a second priority. But here, this is your interface for the tablet, and this all you can test in your app itself. So this is very convenient. Now coming back, so we have our first version app. Let me come back to where we left. Okay, so this is the versions. So we were discussing the code. Code is so yeah, we were discussing the framework. So also, as you build up the application, sometimes you will find that small changes you can do easily manually. So for example, if I have to do some height adjustments, so now in a big screen, doing it with prompt will be very tricky. But if I know the code, I can very easily do it. If I want to change the font or ensure that nothing breaks, this is sometimes easy. So some understanding of these frameworks are important. But yes, definitely a lot of effort is saved. If you have to build these applications from scratch, it will take multiple days. And now with this, you can do it in few hours. So definitely the site claims that they want to make developers 20 times more productive. So this is the vision about that. So yeah, this is our preview, and we can so let me see, what is this exit takes you back to the current version, and I will remove this part so I see the prompt. Then again I have to scroll to the top of first prompt. So this is all things which I built one by one. So just a minute, I'm going back to the top of the prompt. Yeah, maybe later I will create a complete what we call this time lapse of how the UI was built. But yes, in this session I'll be covering important aspects. I'll be covering where this tool did really well and where it is struggled. It's not that okay, all these texts were for building new features. There were a lot of interactions where I was fixing bugs and providing feedback for improving this particular application. So a lot of human intelligence is also involved in this project. So yes, once I gave the prompt, it said that okay, yes, this one. I also told that okay, it should be integrated with all these applications like Salesforce, HubSpot, Zendesk, right? So that yeah, it is aware and it structures the code and some of the components as per these requirements. Then it gave us these ideas that yes, they want modern design. So once you add the prompt, it will give you some suggestions that this is the direction it's thinking. So it acts like a UI designer, or you can say UI designer come developer, and it will give you approach that this is the approach, this is the color palette, this is thinking about, and so they will see that this is how what they are thinking of, right? So and then it will generate the code, which I showed that this was the first version. So once that code was generated, then it also gives you what are the next options. So next option is you have to connect your GitHub account, and then once you connect your GitHub account, then you will be able to see you will be able to sync your code in the GitHub. So any changes which I'm doing from now onwards will be also stored in GitHub, so you can always revert this particular code. So this is also very convenient. Now another thing which I would like to discuss here is during that time last week there was an option to use the model. So I could choose any of the models. So let me see if this option is still available. So there was an option that in the project setting there was option that I could use any of the model, which was there was 3 models. One was Claude, then there was OpenAI ChatGPT or GPT-4, and there was Gemini. So I evaluated all 3 of them, as you might have seen in this particular title of the video session. Okay, so this features I will use. So this is a B2B, no, it's a business to business app, because this is what I will not be selling it to direct users. I will be selling this to CTOs, CEOs. This particular app is an app which will be used for the entire organization. So this is B2B app, and this is a multi-tenant app as well. If something is an internal tool, so because yes, you may be wondering, internal tool, you might have seen a lot of internal tools are there in any organization. They don't need to be multi-tenant. So that's the difference. A B2B app is a multi-tenant app where when a customer is onboarded, they can create an organization, and that organization's data is stored in isolation with other organizations, and you can store millions or hundreds and thousands of organizations or customer data into this particular app. So this is a B2B app. I marked it like this, and this is the project. If you want to collaborate with other, you can allow remixing, but remixing should not be a database project. So this is a limitation. So this feature cannot be enabled in my case. I can rename the project, can hide the Lovable badge, which I will do, because so that when I publish this, it does not show the branding of Lovable. It shows that this is something which is built because going forward I might be doing hand coding as well. So a lot of things are there. So you see here there was total 146 messages which was required to build this particular app. There was around 94 edits which were needed to be done for this particular app. Definitely last weekend this app was available for free. There was a AI Showdown or a hackathon, because of which, so I was initially careful about the prompts, but then no, I wanted to explore various features as well, so I played around with it. But yes, you might build this particular app maybe in maybe 20-30% less prompts. So still it is like, if 130 prompts you are using or 120 prompts you are using, it will cost you somewhere around, you can think of like, for every 4 prompts you will spend $1 as a license fee. So for 120 prompts you may be expending around $30, right? So which is not that not still that expensive for getting that much output, because if you hire a developer, they will definitely charge much more than $30. They will maybe charge you $10,000 for building something like that. So definitely you get more than 20x improvement with cost saving and also time saving as well. So this is all the things which I had for this particular app. So yeah, let's talk about building the database. So this is what okay, before that I would also like to show you that since 3 different models were available, I tried other models as well. The other models which were available was, let me go to the home page again, because there are separate projects available for that. Yeah, both the URLs are fine. You may type in Lovable.dev or Lovable.app. It will take you to the home page. And one good feature is that it remembers what was your last prompt. So even if I did not execute, I'm in the middle of drafting the prompt, I can leave and do something else, and when I come back later, maybe after a few days also, this will remember what was last thing which I entered. So now I gave the same prompt, my initial prompt, to OpenAI, which was using GPT-4 model, and this is what it generated. It generated a UI which looks like something like this. So this still had 4 cards for positive, issue, neutral, feedback. It had a feedback button, new feedback button. It's also did a decent job, and this was more looking like an enterprise app, something which we get from SAP or Oracle. So you have these tables where you have the customer name, type, and it also filled up this this particular app was pre-populated with some sample data, so that you look know how the design will be in the real use case. So this is what was generated by the OpenAI, and then same thing I tried with the Gemini. So let me show you for Gemini how was the code, how was the UI. Let me come back and open another window, and now if I show you the Gemini version, I'll share all these versions in the chat message so that you can view them later. Just give me a minute. Let me see if there are some chat messages or anything the audience is asking about. Okay. So yeah, perfect. Then let me proceed further. So this is what is generated by Gemini. It's again a different kind of UI. Some of the concepts were same, like you have these cards, and then you have the add new feedback form, which is on the left side. This is also very good, classic pattern for UI layout, where you have this, you can enter new feedback. You have here the different cards, or it looks like a chat history, all the feedbacks on the right side. So these are the three different UX design which was generated by all these three models. So I also looked into all these designs, considered the pros and cons, and then finally decided which to proceed further with. So I have written an article about this, and this is also published in Medium. So here I will also paste this in the chat message so that you can also look into this article where I have described in detail all these three different kinds of user interfaces, their positives and negatives, and then why I chose this. Right, so let me take a few minutes break, then I'll come back. So let me hold it, and then we'll compare the UX design and then deep dive into the code which is generated.
बहुत देर से वेट करी थी।
Okay.
मैं बोल रही थी एक मीटिंग है तो मैं सोचा आपको ना ठंडा हो रहा है।
Yeah, okay, I'm back again. So here, this is the comparison I did for all the three user interfaces, which was generated by the Lovable app using different models, which were Anthropic Cloud, OpenAPI GPT, Google Gemini. So as I was saying that I was building enterprise application, a SaaS product, software as a service product, and I evaluated all of three of these as I'm evaluating a hiring manager, planning to recruit three people and three different personalities, Claude, GPT-4, and Gemini. They came up with different outputs, and this is the output which was generated by GPT. I had a lot of expectations with the GPT. It came up with this particular UI. Let me show you in a higher size. So you see here, they used a table, and wasn't anything impressive. I felt that this was doing the job well. There was some open spaces, so it's looking not that much professional, and also there was table. So this is very basic, I felt, and no filters, no search. So here may be good for enterprise application, but then I felt this won't build anything impressive. It's not looking modern, sleek, although the prompt said that. But still, if you're building any existing add-on to SAP, Oracle, this is a great thing to start. Depending on your audience, how's the taste of your audience with respect to user interface, you may want to use it. But I felt that yes, something better could have been done. So yes, with respect to space efficiency, very good. Not too much of space is wasted. But everything was like direct. You have the name, which is direct, and you have you have here the subtitle: seamless track and manage customer feedback. Seamlessly track and manage customer feedback for your enterprise. And then you have the same dashboard cards at the top Good. And then you have this table with 4 elements. Also the timing is the way it is done in the log files. So yeah, here is I use a formatting, right? Not like no, in any user app, business user app, generally would prefer 2 hours ago, yesterday, 1 day back, 2 day back, something like that, which is more human friendly. So this is what was the output from ChatGPT. And then we had Gemini. Gemini, I felt that okay, it did better than ChatGPT. It put the cards at the top, well layout, everything is structured well. So it put add new feedback form automatically on the left side. Classic pattern of enterprise applications with minimal clicks. So you don't have to click on add new feedback button to open this particular form. It's always there for you to enter these feedbacks, and these feedbacks are shown with the user-friendly timestamps like 3 days ago, 1 day ago, and also this is looking like nice cards, chat history, looking very interactive. So I felt this very user-friendly. But yes, the coloring was black and gray mostly. But yes, this was also promising. And yeah, let me also analyze the code. But overall, I felt that okay, it's also intuitive, easy to use. So all these points I have described here in this post, so will not go into that detail. And then finally, Anthropic Claude. Here you see that they put some name by themselves, good layouts, looking very modern, and shadows and different color coding. I felt that this is today's business users would definitely like, and for startups who want to impress the customers, this is better, because with others it was feeling like okay, any other application would have done it already. Many applications like Salesforce, Oracle, SAP, they are building such interfaces, so nothing great about these two. But then I felt that this is, my opinion, is standing out, and if I kind of build it further on this, definitely something very impressive could be built. So I took this particular design and built further on it, right? So again, the same columns layout. You have the top card. Then was not sure about how is this feedback. I played around with it. Then you saw that okay, the feedback was also in the form of list, and they designed the zero state well. So here you see there are no feedbacks, but still the UI is looking filled up. There is the encouraging message saying that start collecting valuable customer insights by adding your first feedback entry. So it's inviting, it is welcoming. I like this design philosophy of not saying that sorry, no feedback available, or could not found any feedback, no such error or critical remarks, but it is an encouragement saying that start collecting valuable feedback and generate insights by adding your first entry. So definitely this was looking promising, and definitely Anthropic is Anthropic Claude is a model which is also in limelight because it does a lot of thinking. So with this impressive output, I decided that I'll go along with it, and then finally something like this I built up Even I have improvised this because you see there were some flaws as I built up further, that this is add feedback button is twice, so all that corrections I did, and something was no broken also, but yes, that I fixed gradually, so that's why it took me long. But if I have to summarize, I see that Gemini built it differently. I would say it's like hiring a high potential innovator. No, it's kind of a UI UX developer. If you think of Gemini for this project, what I was evaluating with, it is definitely coming up with different approach, generates a good idea, and shows decent creativity because its UI was different than the remaining two. And as you see here, I have filters, searches as well. So this is also great. Claude is a friendly designer, so it designs zero state UX, human friendly messages, and emotional warmth is there. It's welcoming for first time users and non technical audience, so that's why I decided to build further on it. Yeah, so this is the different comparison which I did on all three different models. Let me show all of them now. So this is my current version of app, which I call is very close to minimum viable product. This I have to put in some landing page, and I can start asking users to use it, and can also ask them to enroll in trial period and offer subscription based membership for this particular app for various organizations. So this is almost ready. Here you have the date timestamp, you have these feedback, sentiments, everything coming up in a nicely formatted manner. So this is what I got finally. But yes, initially it was much lesser with respect to, so just coming to history, the first version it generated, this is what I showed up in the blog, and when I compare it with this feedback manager generated by OpenAI, this is what was generated by OpenAI, and when I come to Gemini, this is what is generated by Gemini. So this is difference. So if you are looking to generate more ideas, have some user testing done, Gemini is suitable. If you want to build some enterprise class application, your users are not liking colorful UI, they want very professional looking interface with least amount of space wastage, ChatGPT is good. And but yeah, if you want something which is very attractive, standing out for startup kind of company, I would suggest Anthropic Claude would be more suitable. And code analysis also I have done, and a generation of code, I will share that insights as well. But yes, on the journey aspect, you see, let me share you how the journey was, and how this particular UI was able to scale when I used Anthropic and built further on that. So next thing was probably, yeah, here I started adding the database project. So here add project overview. So basically I'm adding personas and refining it to kind of look like personas. Basically not too much of changes in the UI. So but yes, I'm capturing. So you start with an initial set of features. So initial feature was a dashboard and add feedback button. Then I gave the project overview that this is my end goal, these are the personas I want to target. So I added customer persona, and then it started improvising on it. So here not much adjustments have been done here, but for later it is building this knowledge. Now I added the feature specification, gave it more features, 15 features, and this is what. And then I felt that okay, this is just for the context purpose, and then we'll build it further step by step. But let's connect to the database and authentication system. So I created a Supabase project, which is another application, which is a partner application for Lovable for building backend services. So here you can create a nog, you can create new projects as well for different applications. You can have different projects. You may also have multiple applications talking to the same database. For example, in my case, if I extend this particular application and build more applications for different personas, I will still be using the same database, right? So this is what I would say is for persona, which is product manager. Product manager would like to look into the big picture, want to understand what's the overall sentiment, and then he may also want to look into the specifics of each and every feedback, might have to improvise on any of the data entry which has been entered here. So product manager will be interested in both the overall feedback as well as individual feedback in detail. They may also want to use search feature. For example, I may search for something like if I am looking for, say, report, what are the feedbacks which is about reporting feature. So here you see it does search on the description, says that yeah, there is report, and maybe somewhere here also this word should have been there, report. Right, so in further details, maybe this report is there. So let's look into this feedback in detail. Yeah, you see here the reports there. So that's why this particular message has come up in the search results. So you can search by word, you can search by customer name. Say for example, I have a customer, so Priya Mehta, Priya Kulkarni, these are the people with name. So I can search with customer name. I can search by company. Definitely all the text fields are searchable. So for example, if I say Loop Hive, then this particular company is getting listed. Or I can say technologies, if I'm looking for technology company, something like that. Yeah. Now next thing is I can search by email as well. So for example, Arjun.desai, yeah, and @ so something like that. If it's there in email, it will also be matching. So this is suitable for product manager. This is suitable for yeah, it's suitable for everyone because it's have everything. But yes, for CEO, he may not want to look into individual customer feedback. He may only be interested in this particular dashboard, and maybe more charts, some more refinement could be there, specific to each of the use case. But yes, customer executive, he will be interested in entering all these details, updating it. Product managers may not be allowed to edit these feedback. Some of the fields they may edit. For example, they may add tags, they may modify the feedback type, etc. But limited control. But yes, customer executive could do all the changes. So yeah, with the role-based management, these things can be controlled. Or you may build more use cases where you can have a UI which will be creating these list of tags. For now, I have allowed only predefined list of tags. So all these 5 tags are available. You may add more as customization through database, but yes, definitely you can have a you can have a UI to update these tags, and this can be controlled by separate set of users. So this is the version 2 of this is what the current version of the app is. So I connected the project to Supabase project. Then I have authentication implemented. So let me show you how does it work. So you have this login button, and if you click, you have the login here with username and password. So basically you put in your username and then password, and it will allow you to log in, right? And if it's invalid credential, it will not allow you to log in. So this is what the user interface for login logout was. So this is what I implemented. It was connected to Supabase authentication, and all things happened very smoothly. So no problems in that. Then I added social logging. I said I want to log in with different providers, authentication providers. So Google, GitHub, Twitter, all these were available. So this is the next enhancement which I did. So also all these can be configured very easily. Google could be configured using the Google Cloud. So this is also very easy to customize. I will write separate blog post for how to do this integration separately, because there are a lot of details, not a lot of details, but considerable number of details, because you have to ensure that there is no course issue cross origin request, because yes, you have to specify that the JavaScript domain and your domain for authentication, because here you are communicating with Lovable domain, which is this tool which is generating the application. You are communicating with Supabase database and the authentication provider, so which is maybe Google. So yeah, integration is slightly tricky, but yes, can be learned in few hours. Then I created the database tables. So next thing was because now authentication was in place, but the data was not getting stored because everything was in the UI only. So this particular tool builds the app in this way, like it creates the user interface first, then it creates the database, which is a nice approach. I see that because if you start with the database, sometimes you don't have full clarity about what all interfaces you may need. So you may add more columns, tables, database design may not be optimized to the use case. And if you are building something which is on short time frame, if something no, you are building where the deadline is very less, or there is not liberty of having extended deadlines, then this approach works, because then you build the most important part first and you get this feedback also fast. So this you can show to product managers, your customers, stakeholders, and get feedback and improvise it faster. Once you have in a decent shape, you can start building the database. But yes, don't delay it too much also, because otherwise when you have a lot of things done in the UI and database is not ready, you may not find some issues which are with respect to usability, right? Because when you play around with some working solution, it is different experience than how you deal with mock data. One such example is zero state UI. So then I built up a login page, because then I felt that okay, when you have login and if customer is not logged in, then you would need a auth page, login page. So next thing is I built up a login page. This definitely could be further improvised, but still it's decent. You have the branding here, the name of the app and some tagline, and then you have this sign in button. So this is your sign in page, and then you can sign up as well for new users, and for existing users they can sign in, and these options there via Google, GitHub and Twitter. Now yeah, definitely all these UIs can be improved further. For example, icons could be added and this could be made more compact, but this is what you get by default generated from Supabase. Then while I was doing this particular app, there were few errors which was somehow the sign out was not working, logging was working, sometimes the Google login was not working. So there were few features which I felt was broken and they were not working out of the box. So little bit of tweaking, but all this I did by giving the prompts. So I did not do any manual coding. You can do it, but for authentication and the framework which is Supabase, I wasn't aware of it previously, so I decided to use the prompts, and which is I believe is advisable. So you see here few messages, 4-5 messages I spent for fixing the logging errors. So sometimes the logging is working. I would also give you one best practice. So here you see this app opens up in an iframe within your Lovable app, but you can launch it as a separate window as well. So when I click on the up arrow button, it opens up in the separate window. So it's advisable you test the login as a separate window instead of just within iframe, because sometimes there are differences in functionality, what works within an iframe and what works outside the iframe as a separate window. And you can test also different kinds of login approach. Say for example here, sign in with Google, it was signing in and you see it was working well, but yeah, there was flicker. Initially I was getting signed out also, sometimes sign out was not working, but finally with few more prompts I got this fixed. Then next stage is also, once your application is in decent shape, publish it, and once the app is published, you may have to test it again, because in publish the URL changes, so sometimes some configuration might not be perfect. So that is what I would advise, that use this application, test it thoroughly for different scenarios or environments. Now coming back is once I built this landing page, I improvised it further. I felt that okay, signing button just on this blank page and then moving to a different page altogether would have been a bad user experience. So why not just open the login page there itself? So this is a UI flaw which I felt the Claude had, that there was one click extra. Why not open the login page by default? So this is what feedback I provided, and this was done after the Google sign-in was working, and definitely the API keys would be needed. You have to enable all these authentications as well. I felt one is good enough, so I just tested on the error messages, sign out flow, and also test that when you implement sign in, you have to also see sign up is also working, and users are getting persistent in the database. So this was not happening, sign out flow. So then there was some error, so I kind of fixed that as well, which was about storing the users in the database. So this is the problem with the AI. You have to explicitly say everything, because if I say that implement sign in sign up functionality, it will implement but may not implement the persistence functionality of user accounts. So this seems very obvious to humans, but you have to sometimes explicitly tell to machines. So here is a difference, that when you are working with someone who is a human colleague, you may just say that implement sign in and sign up functionality. Automatically they will understand that yes, the new accounts needs to be stored in the database, but similar things might not sometimes be obvious to machines. And then you have to instruct in these two statements, like implement the sign up button, sign in button, and upon sign in, and when users say register or sign up, whatever is the UI term which you are using, is store the user information in the database so that he can sign in again at later point of time. So basically this is how you have to detail the prompt so that there is less scope of interpretation. But yes, if you are good in writing specifications, then you will not worry, you will get more problems. But yes, as I was moving ahead with implementation, I was seeing some more problems coming on, as side effects. So for human developers also this is the case. When you build a feature, sometimes features, while developing features or while delivering, you get bugs for free. Same is true with the AI coders as well. When AI coders are coding, because they are trained on human code only, so they do the same problems. They have same tendency of giving you some bugs for free with every features, and sometimes when you ask them to fix one feature, they will introduce another feature, another bug. So sometimes some bug fixing might replace one bug with the other bug. So you have to be really careful. So you have all the same flaws which are there in human coders, plus some more flaws in machines, AI, which are specific to machine coding. So you have to deal with both of them. So as a product manager or as a person who is supervising this development, either you are a manager or an architect, you have to be a little bit extra careful. Then I got some errors resolved, so somehow because I wanted to understand that the APIs were good enough so that I can extend it, right? So I was feeling like, let me see that the backend is stable or not, right? So yes, the next stage which I did was I created a database design. I ensured that normalization were in place, and then I moved on to ensure that the APIs are also designed properly, because you are dealing with machine, and you want to ensure that everything is done efficiently, effectively. So I asked this particular tool to also generate API documentation, because I might look into the documentation, but later again, if I want to refer the APIs, it is sometimes very tedious to look into the source code and try to figure it out what's the API which is being exposed. So I generated an API documentation, and this is also as per your API first design. Faster you get the APIs published, easier it is to partner with more teams. Sometimes external parties also might be interested in building add-ons or extensions to your app. So having the APIs well defined is very important. So I then created the API, and this is what I was in the process of generating API documentation. There were few errors which got introduced, so I got it resolved. Again, everything was with the help of the prompts, nothing with manual coding. 100% of the app which I generated was based on prompts. There were few manual tweaks which I did, but that too was with the WYSIWYG functionality which is there in Lovable itself, which I will talk and walk through later. It's also very interesting and useful feature where for some of the UI changes you can change it in the CSS by just modifying things as you do sometimes in Chrome developer tools. So something like that you can do it in Lovable as well, and for some minor changes, any number of minor changes, they don't charge you any credits. So this is a great feedback which they worked upon, which they get from initial adapters of these tools. So now I kind of fix some YAML issues which were coming while generating the Swagger documentation, and then I applied these changes, applied some more SQL, created more tables. Then it creates some migration as well. So this is great that all your database modifications are also tracked through migration scripts. So migration scripts are SQL scripts which you run to update the tables or add more rows or remove some additional columns, etc. Any database changes which you have to do. So I analyzed the database design also in this phase and ensured that it is normalized properly. It didn't normalize everything well, so I gave some feedback and optimized the database design, and that would have improved the performance. Added some indexes as well, because when the customer records they will increase, then the performance becomes very critical. But yes, once you do these changes, it will ask you that are you fine with these SQL queries. So basically when you are doing any database changes, you have to give a prompt. The tool will suggest that this is the SQL query we should run to incorporate the changes, and then you have to approve the SQL and then only it execute. So this is again a nice feature, and all these things are executed in Supabase. So you can do that same from Supabase itself. So here if I go inside my project, so there are database, and here on the left side we have the database editors. So either you can create the database tables through the prompt, or you can create directly from the Supabase, and you can say, see here there's a new table. They also have an assistant here which is a chat client, which you can again instruct using chat prompts, and it will do the database operations for you. So this is also very handy tool. So here you see all the records, these are getting stored here, and there are customers feedbacks. Then these are the tags, should have tags, and see here only IDs are being put here. So this normalization is done with very much care because I wanted to build something which is production ready. So no redundancy of data. Here you see this is the type of feedback types again stored in the database. So definitely it makes this UI more customizable. Then feedback with details, and then there is tags. Tags should be the tags which are generated and which are being used by default, right? So this is the data. We'll see. I see there are some data which is unused, might be unused, or more types are there, but not all types are being used because I used a concept which is called a system organization, and whenever there is a new organization which is getting created, the tags will be added for that particular organization, because from organization to organization you might want different tags, right? So there needs to be some extension mechanism. So basically here you need extensibility, not customizability. So this is a very important point for enterprise developers. So for example, feedback types. This is something which should be customizable. That means I might define for my product that there are few feedback types. This is just an example. For example, I have a positive feedback, issue, neutral. So basically positive, negative and neutral. These are the three different feedback types. And this is same for all kinds of customers, right? So whether a customer is a product customer or service customer, feedback would be positive, negative or neutral. But some things are not same for all the customers. But yeah, here if I want to have more feedback types, say for example, which is unsure, right? Or something like it's not positive, it's not neutral, it is not negative, it is maybe if you want say super positive or super negative, that all you can customize, right? So if you want to have priorities here, you may want to customize it like positive high, positive low, all that you can do customization, and when you do it, it will be available to all your customers. But yeah, some features are extensions. For example, tags. I might want for my industry, so for example, if I am a service company working on marketing, then I might want that, okay, have one tag which is issue regarding interaction, customer interaction, right? Which may not be required for any other company. So in that case, this is extensibility. To make this particular application extensible, I have designed it in a way that we can extend the database tables, and it will ensure that different organizations will have different set of tags. So this is about the users. You may create users in different organization, and different organizations may have different admins also. So these are user table and then profile table. So this is all about the database design which is there. So you see here there are views as well. Views are for fast data access. So this is there, but yes, we have to take care about security. So that is something I will cover later on in upcoming sessions. So this is the database design. These database designs are there in this particular tool, and we can visualize these database designs as well. And then it will give you an SQL editor so that you can perform various queries and edit SQL right? So if I want to do some database query, play around with the data, I can do that as a database administrator. So a lot of great features, and you see here when you look into the database, it gives you the diagrammatic view of the database also, which shows various foreign key relationships as well, very well. So visual thing is very easy to grasp, and this can be reviewed very quickly by any architect, and any suggestions for database optimization can be incorporated, right? So different layouts are there, and you can so this is a great tool for building database. You have schema visualizer, tables, so we can see all the tables, and you see here I put this table in different normal forms. Then there are database functions, right? These are like triggers, validations. Any validations which you have to do, you can do it with this. Functions and triggers. So triggers are called automatically when some operation is done. Functions are just functions which can be called even with the SQL query. But yes, this will help you to modularize your business logic and reuse some of the SQL code. Then you have enumeration types, and a lot of other features are there. Extensions are there. So you see here I have enabled GraphQL extension so that I can make GraphQL queries. This is for easy REST API call. Easy filtering, because I have implemented filtering and searching, so it's very good to have GraphQL implemented. Then PG catalog schema. This is a procedural language, procedural language for PG-SQL, like PL-SQL is there for Oracle, similar is there. There is a extension which is called Index Advisor, and this will monitor the execution of queries, and based on the query execution it will suggest what indexing I should keep. So this is again a great tool, and it's a very initial stage, so that's why you see that version is 0.2.0. But yes, it gives you good insights about what more indexing you can do. Sometimes systems can generate better suggestions than human, because it's all about looking into the data. So I have enabled this for that reason. Then if all my IDs are UUIDs, because for multi-tenant environment, even if you use generators, you may have collision, right? So basically unique IDs I have used is through UUID. Then there is encryption, because I am storing username passwords. So there is PG crypto. So this is for cryptographic functions. So these are various extensions which are there in the database. Then indexes, all these database indexes have been created. Then this is about public subscribe model. So not sure right now where it is required to be used. And then there is replication. So here some replication is also scheduled. So let me take a break. Okay, coming back, we were exploring different features of Supabase. So here you have roles, access controls. This for authentication, roles and policies. Yeah. So this is about the user. So you can create user, you can add providers. Providers are different providers, which is for example Google. There is a lot of providers which are supported. So you have here email authentication. So whenever some new sign up happens, you have to verify the email. I may have phone verification. There is SAML, Web3 wallet, a lot of other options are there to enable various different kinds of authentication. So you get a lot of things out of the box, right? Which is great. But yes, I have used only the Google authentication, which is the most popular one, and I felt going forward this could be enhanced further. So in MVP, it's very important to decide what is your priority one features, because you may have a list of, maybe I had list of say 20-25 features, but then I decided that I'll implement these important features, which is first few features to get this product really ready to be rolled out, and then gradually I can improve on it based on the customer feedbacks and requirements. So user session management, everything you can also analyze. This rate limiting, which you can also put in. So multi-factor authentication is also there. So everything is as per the enterprise requirements. So this is definitely great tool to implement a lot of features which is there for building enterprise applications. Then you have something called edge functions. Edge functions I felt is either like microservices or serverless applications, where I can kind of put some code and it will execute the code. This is all JavaScript code which is right now supported. So my AI related logic, for example auto tagging feedback, what happens with this particular function, which is kind of a code I can see here. So this is the code for running the auto tagging, auto correction, right? So yes, as you can see, for model I have used this one, and there are some prompts which have to be put in, and I have requested information back in JSON formatting, and this is how I am kind of making calls and kind of getting inputs from OpenAI. Keys is stored in environment variable, is not exposed for security reasons. Right, so this is about the backend for this particular application, and others I'm not using much, but yes, there are all features available. So pretty good amount of features are available in this particular app. So let's just look into the prompts which I gave for building this app as well, because we looked into the flow from UI perspective, how the UI was evolving, but let me also show you how the prompts and response from the AI system was building the application. So this I will be I'll be showing you for few, and then we'll proceed further about the flow or journey of getting this particular application built. Looks great. Okay, so let me just also take a short pause and see if there are any chat messages which are unaddressed, so that I can kind of respond to them and Awesome. So I see there is Sagar from I yeah. So he has question about should I go for MacBook Air M4 or Windows? He's a data scientist. Little bit out of context question, but I would say nowadays many yeah. So again depends on what kind of applications you use. So if you are using Python, which is available in Mac also, in general, again depends on your comfort level also. So if you feel you can adjust to Mac, this is good option. MacBook is great option. It's more stable and easy to use for development than Windows. Windows is user friendly. It's more for business use case. If you want to use Office, run Outlook, so these are more convenient. Most of the Windows app are also available in MacBook. So for developers, my personal advice is MacBooks are more convenient. And again, no, you might not want to go with the most. Air is fine. Pro, again, no. If you really want to run heavy servers on your system, then only you have to go with. But as you are seeing, most of the development these days are happening on the cloud, so you don't really need Pro. In later sessions, I will also discuss. I'm using MacBook Air, and it is M2 because it's now almost 3 years old. Last year, I thought of upgrading my device, but then with Rapplet, with code spaces, anyway, anytime I have to do some high performing heavy development, then I prefer using cloud based remote devices like code spaces. So you don't really need heavy devices. So whatever I'm showing also has all web interfaces. So I am using browser. So nowadays most of the development is done over the browser itself. So the device is not that much of importance. But yes, you might have to pay some subscription if you are using some old device, or so, which is the case with me. But no, I'm just saving 2 lakh rupees upfront and paying subscription. So yeah, better to kind of not spend $1,500 and in one go, but spend some $20 subscription every month. So yeah, here coming back to our topic, so I was going through the prompt history, how this application was built. We'll see if there is an export option of getting all the prompts outside in some file and then sharing it with everyone. That is convenient because the scrolling is also, this uses infinite scrolling. I can't go to the top in one go, and whenever I'm refreshing this page, the scrolling is again required because it scrolls you to the recent conversation, most recent conversation. So the older conversations are getting hidden on top, right? So this is running the app on the separate tab, and same this is running on the iframe, and on left we have this chat history. So yeah, this is my first prompt. This is my not first prompt. Yeah, it is okay. Still further. Okay. Yeah, this one is my first prompt where I said that okay, build this particular app, give these features. Then it did that. Then we connected the Supabase. Then I told it to document some of these inputs which I provided, which I shared earlier in this session, that when you are starting to build any application, it is important that you are very clear on project goals, key objectives of what are you building about. So I did some research about what I should be building. Then I identified the personas. All this I fed to the system. And if you have some coding guidelines, that also could be fed. And then I started adding, I also started updating this in GitHub, because in the README files, you can put in the feature specification, because after a few days I might forget all these details, and some of the details are very important and which is there at that particular time frame. So as a best practice, what I do is always keep capturing, as you are developing your application, some of the important points in the README document. Sometimes you get some design insights, some implementation details. All this, if you keep updating in the README file, it will help you. And also when I encounter any error, and if I do any troubleshooting, and if I have resolved this error either by finding out the solution over internet or through some documentation, that also I kind of capture it, so that if I receive the same problem again, I'll be able to do it faster. So same thing I did here. Then I did so here I entered all the documentation, details about rate limiting, error handling, etc. Then added information about security. So this is about, I was exploring about what could be done with the Supabase. If there are multiple options, which is the best option for my application. So there was some discussion. Chat option is also there in the Lovable here. So when you say chat, you can have a conversation with this application, and it will not modify and update the code. But when you switch off this, we have to be careful, because if you say something, it will modify the code. So this is important thing to be taken care of. So please connect my database to the project. This I did. Then I am connecting the database to my project, and also asking step-by-step instruction how to do it, because some of the steps you can do within this particular interface of Lovable app, but some things you have to do in Supabase if you have the backend as Supabase. So now I see maybe in future they may support multiple backends, but yes, right now only Supabase is supported. So I just asked about what are the features are there, and how will I build the backend logic. So this is what all conversation about. Then I have added authentication. When I add authentication, then you have to add database tables, because I also wanted to capture the profile information for the users. So for example, for profile, I want full name, avatar, website, what was the update time. So some of the profile information you can put in website. You may store maybe LinkedIn address of customers, LinkedIn profile ID or Facebook ID or whatever, their website, etc. So these are various profile information for users. Database queries, basically database queries, and these database queries, it ask for permission to execute, and once you give this execute permission, this database query is executed. Great. So okay, Yeah, I'm not sure whether the person who asked the question, Sagar, he's still there. If he's there, just say yes. And but yes, I have captured the advice on chat so that he can view it later. Okay, so coming back, so yes, it is saying me that yes, they have this database ready. So the database was ready, and all other features are there. So basically, you see here, this is connecting OAuth, Google. So a lot of interaction you have to do because it asks for a lot of things, and you have to share that this is how you want the application to be designed. So it's not that everything is done automatically. You have to keep advising and refining and optimizing whatever is being generated. Now coming back here in the history, so I will move further. So then once I got this basic version, from very initial stage I said that we want to build organizations as another table and want to incorporate multi-tenancy, because later it is always difficult to adapt the database and make it multi-tenant. So I advised this particular application to generate the tables as per multi-tenancy. It did a decent job, created the tables so that they can be multi-tenant. And yes, as you see in my application, the tables are multi-tenant. So feedbacks one entered for one organization is not visible to other organization. And user can create multiple organizations because you might have users who are working in multiple organizations. For example, if they are consultants, they may be managing feedbacks for multiple organizations. So this is all about adding foreign key relationships. Then I asked for the database design, and so here you see foreign key relationships between tables should be defined, and they should also provide all this details about what kind of relationship is there. Because should I have one user having multiple organizations? So sometimes you may want to analyze, discuss, and refine that design. So here a lot of conversation was about database design, optimizing and working on the right structure for columns, tables, views, and ensuring the security of the database. So here I said that okay, implement normalization. So they implemented the normalization. Perfect. They shared about what are the benefits and what's the approach database took. This is great. So this is all conversation. So I would say most of the conversation which I was having was around database in the initial phases of the app development. Yes. Now going further here. So there is something called RLS policy, which is also very important. This talks about what kind of users are allowed to access what kind of data. So here RLS policy settings, and there were some errors which had to be fixed upon that. Thank you. I see one message from Devil's Eye. So he's appreciating the work. So thank you. Very encouraging to know about that. So yes, as I'm sharing you one invite code for Lovable, and anytime feel free to connect with me, message me if you face any problems in working with this particular app if you have decided to build some applications using Lovable and you have any doubts or you get stuck somewhere or you want some advice on what's the best way to do it, then definitely you can feel free to connect to me. So here next important feature which I will share to you is let me sign in here. Let me sign in with Google. One important interesting feature is as I was saying that okay, I first built the database and now this app is there with database, and then I felt that okay, we should also have the documentation for all the APIs which I'm using. So let me share you that API documentation. It's also generated automatically because as I've worked with large organizations like Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, I know the importance of database, and I built this app thinking that I will be creating a SaaS product out of it, and it would be like my startup. So I had decided to do the documentation as well. So here Supabase automatically provide the database APIs for you. So here you see row level security policies. This is RLS policies which I was talking about. So very professional documentation which was using Swagger was generated, and this will document all the REST APIs. So here in the database API, for each of the tables you see here there are documentation which shares about what are the headers, so various functions, views, how to access them, how to call them, and as I said, this is a Swagger documentation which is generated. So here we have to authorize by pasting the token API key. Once we have this token and API key entered here, we can play around with these APIs. So for example, I have this get organization API. So if someone wants to extend this particular application through these API interfaces, they can build and enhance or they can build mobile apps, they can build different kind of interactions on this particular app. So here this is all about the APIs. So this is all I have structured the documentation in this two way. One is the database APIs. Database APIs deals with doing CRUD operations on tables, calling database functions, views. All this is all database APIs. On the other side, business APIs. Business APIs are multi-tenant organization support, customer management, feedback lifecycle. So this is more from business perspective because these APIs will be one top level APIs on the database APIs. For example, get user organization, get current session, create organization, switch organization, get organization feedback, submit feedback. So these are all wrappers over these database APIs, which will allow you to do some operations as per the use cases. So this is more important. The business APIs are more important because this is what mostly people will use at high level, and database level you may not expose everything for security reasons because not everyone should be allowed to update each and every tables because this may result in inconsistent data. So your business API should be good enough, and this should be the interface which is exposed to external parties. Database APIs only share it with trusted parties, and they should be aware of what they are doing. So these are some of the system design principles, important technical things which you have to take care. Although the code is generated by machine, but you have to take care of all code generators. So yeah, this is all UI handling, and let me go further. So I built up the UI, login, multi-tenancy. Then next thing was I built up the tagging feature. This was the feature, as I said, it is done to be extensible feature because different customers might have requirements for having different tags. I don't want users to create new tags, because if you allow users to add custom tags, too many tags, they end using so many variations of tags that the purpose of tags becomes, I would say, no, the purpose is lost. So this is what I was playing around. So I felt initially, let me allow custom tags, and then finally made a mind that we should not allow custom tag, and we should only have system generated tags. So these all versions I was making were about having tagging optimized, and there were some errors which were getting introduced when I was doing tagging. So I was fixing them. Mostly the bug fixing which I was doing was again describing in proper English through prompt to AI that what you want, and then AI will be generating this. So basically, based on your prompt, AI will be correcting the code if they have made some bugs or mistakes in their code generation. And then sometimes, yeah, there were some modifications which were required, because when I added custom tags, there were more tables and columns which were introduced. And when I decided not to go ahead with the custom tags, then I removed these by running some SQL migration. So I added, so the SQL migration jobs were generated by Lovable itself. So improving the search performance, this is what also I had to take care of. That search should be fast. Then also improving the look and feel. So here you see sentiment badges, and I was optimizing the UI. So here even though I was doing visual edits, build up the landing page also, because then I felt just having the login page, I might want to have one business website. So this is a placeholder right now, but yeah, I might have here a complete business website and then a sign in button to get started. So that's what and definitely when people want to get started, I want to first get them a demo or a trial account, and then offer them subscriptions. So this is something I can put in this particular page with AI. That is very easy. Payment is something which again I depends where, like, what kind of right analytics should be put, what kind of time frame to be used, little adjustment of the styling, because this layout you see here at the top, we have 4 columns, and then it turns out to be 3 column here, because this particular tag distribution over time is taking a lot of space, and then this feedback volume with respect to date. So this is giving you the trend of feedback organization is receiving. So different kinds of cards for these charts was decided and then put in, and I have to tell how to lay out, because this particular app was messing up, because yes, AIs they may not build up everything aligned, so little bit of up and down of these cards were there in the initial design. It was very difficult for me to make adjustments with chat prompts. So here, as I shared, that I attached a Figma. I drew a very rough prototype of how I want the UI to be look like, and then did this adjustments by asking AI to follow the design as per the attachment and make the adjustments. So in multiple attempts it was able to do, because from the image also it was not able to get exactly, because the mockup which I provided was a low fidelity mockup. Maybe taking a screenshot and defining everything with labels, that would take more effort, but that would something be advisable. So if you are building some app which will have multiple controls and multiple layouts, I would advise start with a Figma prototype, create the UI design in Figma or any other tool which you prefer, generate an image out of it, and then give this tool this design saying that please generate UI as per the design, and then it will be able to do it. Now other thing is, once it will be doing these things, and if you want to do some adjustments, which I did, like changing some of the labels, because this was called feedback trend. So if I suppose want to make this change, so this is very important thing. I would ask everyone to pay attention, that this is very useful feature, and it saved a lot of credits. So you save a lot of cost by using this feature. Not everyone is aware of this, is the edit. So this edit functionality is UI edit functionality. You can do it for free. So here when you click on edit, and then you can see here some kind of grid here. Let's say it's a starting preview, live preview. Let's it's refreshing. So it's like Chrome developer mode. So you can select some UI element and then fix that by choosing it, right? So you see here now buttons and all are getting selected, and then you see here this CSS kind of editing screen where I can put here classes, Tailwind classes. So little bit in understanding of Tailwind is good, because Tailwind CSS framework is very different from Bootstrap. Generally people are familiar with Bootstrap. So Tailwind is different, and it's more modern and have more flexibility. So if you know that, then you will be able to edit it very fast. So this can be used to adjust the head, width and height of various elements, add padding, etc., or change the labels. So for example, if this particular field I want to rename it, so I can change the label here. I can change the color also, like this. So font color can be changed here. So a lot of changes can be done without spending any of your credits here. Font weight, for example, I might want to make this bold, so this makes it bold, right? Change the color back to black. So all this, and then don't forget to hit the save if you are okay with this change. For example, if I'm fine with making this as bold, then I should say save, otherwise I should say discard, because sometimes showing this with the prompts is difficult. But yes, if you have things which is easy to be pointed out and corrected by editing, then this tool is very helpful. So this is only valid for static text changes, and if some label is coming from some API or database, then you can't change it with the help of this particular tool. Then you have to use one prompt. So if you want to give any prompt here, you can also give a prompt here. Say for example, let me show you here this thing. I've selected this button, and I will say add a Google logo for this button. So this is another way of giving the command, and this will cost me 1 credit, so almost like 25 cents lost. But I say that okay, add Google logo for this button. Now what it's doing is it is updating the code, and it will update and put the Google icon. So now you are seeing this particular tool in live action, because till now I was always sharing auto-generated code which was done previously, but now you see it has added the Google logo. So maybe clap for this, and I have enabled a sound also, because sometimes it takes few minutes to take this code, build the code and generate the code. So now I got very good looking sign in button. So yeah, same I can do with other screens. I can go inside other screens and use this edit option, and then it will edit the required element, and then you can modify it as per your wish by either giving a prompt. If it requires code changes, then you will be charged for it. But if you don't, if you just want to change some static text, then it is very straightforward, like editing in that form. Okay, this feature is in beta. Looks like it's not that responsive, and right now it's not working for this screen. But yeah, it worked flawlessly for the login page. But yes, this adjustment, this alignment, I got it by using this edit tool, and because it's very difficult to say that okay, in second column, first card, so there could be some misinterpretation. But yes, initially I was saying that okay, align the bottom edges of all these cards, right? Align them. But yes, this was not properly done. But with this particular edit tool, it is done properly. So yeah, this is overall app. Then let me just see what else is there to discuss. So basically here, yeah, most of the conversation was fine tuning the database and making things working, and definitely, yeah, important part was the AI feature. So yes, OpenAI integration was also very straightforward, and it is again through the Supabase. So in the Supabase, I have to provide the API key. So that was also done flawlessly with the help of prompts in this particular application. So let me demonstrate that. So when I'm updating any feedback, so for example here I am just updating one feedback which is already populated in this app. So here it says this is our essential part of our decision making process. So here this has saved us countless hours. So I if I say highly recommend for agile teams this particular tool, this feedback. If I make any changes here, I say that highly recommended for agile teams, but I would say traditional teams might not like it, right? Something I'm just modifying to show you the sentiment analysis. So for example, right now it is very positive message with 80% positive rating. Now I will run the sentiment analysis. Then I want the rating, rating comes down to 70%, right? And tags were also added automatically here. So this all AI integration is what will help organizations analyze analyze all these messages. And definitely a lot of possibilities are there. For example, I might summarize all the feedbacks and display a summary in a separate card. So that is another feature which maybe I would like to do in next version of this particular application. So this is all the features about this app, and this is how. So basically, what I would say that initially I was skeptical about that can this tool be used to build something which is production grade, which is something which can be used by enterprise customers. But yes, now working on it, and then as I was able to build fully functional app, I am now having this opinion that yes, this is possible that we can build something which is enterprise grade and ready for production. And if someone is looking to start a startup as an entrepreneur, I also learned one new term which is called indie hacker, and that means independent hacker who don't have a team. A single person can build complete app by themselves. So you don't need different skill sets like front-end developer, back-end developer, or UX designer. But yes, you should understand the product management. You should understand. You should have some understanding of architecture. Yes, it's something. You also need to have an understanding of programming, because as your application grow complex. So until now, I was able to build all the features without coding, without writing code. But going forward, I would like to look into the code also. So yeah, this is important thing I would cover now is how to modify this code in some IDE. So yeah, let's go to the generated code, because this is also one thing very important we should know. So here, whatever changes you are making, it gets synced to a GitHub repository. So you can associate your GitHub account and GitHub organization or project with this particular project in Lovable, and then all the updates are done with GitHub. Also, any changes is done is automatically committed in GitHub. So if I show the commit history, then this will be apparent that okay, these are the code changes which is done. So for example, you see here Lovable.dev bot. This is the user which is making the changes, and there were 114 commits. So yeah, these are the commits, and these commits are also commits with messages. So there is descriptive messages. So which is great thing that it's doing development following all the best practices. So here they have saved for this commit, save and edit tags for feedback, save tags when creating new feedback, allow editing of tags in edit field, edit form, and all that. Messages are very descriptive, and then these changes are being done. And code is also absolutely same as written by some human developer. So I didn't saw that any variable name which is very cryptic. Everything is readable. So code is very readable because I have been working with various code generators, and since many years, more than 10 years, I would say I would be using code generator. But by looking into the code generated by code generators, you can tell whether it's generated by tool or whether it's generated by human, because they will use a lot of cryptic names, like if they will say variable 1, variable underscore 2, or they'll follow very non-human friendly nomenclature, but which is not the case here. Here all the names are very readable, and they show what exactly this particular function or variable is supposed to do. So this makes code very maintainable, and definitely it could be edited. So now let's run this application in our IDE outside the Lovable, and you can modify this code, and any modifications you do is free for you. So this is again a great business model, because as a startup, if I will get less funds, then maybe I'll do the manual coding, right? Not use the tool, and I might have to spend more time, but still I will not get blocked and I will be more effective. Okay. So something has happened here. Code space access limited, unexpected. So this is GitHub problem. Contact support for more information. Okay, I'm not sure what is this. This is a problem from GitHub, I believe, because yeah, we can do local development. So basically what you have to do is you have this repository, you have to clone this repository, and then once you clone this repository, there are instructions. So you basically clone this repository, then you move to your project, and then you have to run npm run, npm install, npm I, and npm run dev. So this will run this in dev mode, so that it will auto reload, and then you can modify the code and see the changes. So very well structured code. This is the code which is generated by Anthropic code. So you have also very well organized. Less refactoring is required, and wherever refactoring is required, it will suggest automatically. So basically, when there is a file which is more than 200 lines, automatically Lovable.dev is suggesting that please refactor it, and you can do the refactoring through prompt, because it will automatically refactor it. But yes, this will charge you because 1 credit will be lost when you are doing refactoring of file. And if you have 100 files and you have to refactor hundreds of files, then you may get charged a lot. For every edit, you will have a charge of like 25 cents. So yeah, you see here, this is the login page. So code is for a React developer very easy to understand, and you can modify it very fast. And this is like working on any project. So yes, with manual written code, AI plus human can be really very powerful. Even if AI by alone is not that powerful, humans alone are definitely powerful, because they have been doing development since so many years. But now with AI, they are super powerful. Great. So once maybe in some other session, I will share more details, technical details. We'll deep dive into individual features. But yes, let me also take you through. This is the code which was generated by Anthropic. But there is similar code I also generated with the help of OpenAI. So let's see how OpenAI code is different than let me just see what is the name of code. So I will see the repositories. Okay, I have Anthropic code only committed here. This is a great thing. I can demonstrate how you can sync your code from Lovable to GitHub repository. So for this, what you have to do is, if you have existing product, for example, here I have this AI feedback manager. So now if I have to sync this product, sync this project. So this is the same UI generated with the help of OpenAI. And I have discussed earlier in the session that when I evaluated all three, I found Claude to be better than the rest for my use case. And then here there is GitHub icon. With this, you say that connected GitHub, and there is a two-way sync. So that means even if you modify the code, still the system will be able to update it and build further. So if I built one feature with manual written code, I can fix some bug on that particular feature using this tool. And the other way around is also true, that if some feature is generated by the tool, I can fix it manually. So that's two-way sync which is there. So I just say connect with GitHub. It will connect. I have some project, so I can say that connect this particular organization with GitHub, and then yes, it will update the code here. So now you see here this has created a new repository, and there is a view button. I can click on view. So it's as simple. It took me one click only to generate this particular code and sync it with GitHub repository, and it's looking exactly the same as some code written by Anthropic. So here, by looking into the code, I think it will be hard to say that whether it is generated by Anthropic or whether it's generated by GPT, OpenAI GPT, then or it is generated by Gemini. So here is my code with Anthropic. So I'm comparing it. Its structure is exactly the same. I understand, because the tool would have instructed to follow this particular pattern. They would have given a template, and then based on the template it is generating more code. So here let's go inside public folder. So SRC would be interesting place, because yeah, the structure is exactly the same. Then I have here components. API docs was generated with Anthropic. I did not generate it in OpenAI, but yes, interesting. I would write about an article about how to generate API docs. Then I have this authentication app.tsec. Let me see some part which is common in both the places. So let's say I want to look into a component which is feedback form, which is there in both of them. So here is the code generated by OpenAI on the right side. Let's see, let me make it more visible to everyone. Just a minute, let me look into how this is getting streamed. Yeah, definitely it's cut off. So yeah, I'll go here, I'll come here, and you are seeing on the right side the code written by OpenAI. On left side we have code written by Anthropic, and here if I open the feedback form, so here you see the code is almost same. Right, so these are the components which are used. Definitely little different components are used. In my Anthropic code I have extended it a lot, but here you have something called feedback form props, on cancel, on close, on success, open, all these are the names. So not much difference, absolutely the same code which is generated by OpenAI and Anthropic. Let me do this way. I will open the code which is generated by say another AI tool, which let's open. Let me go to my dashboard, and then I will choose Gemini. So this is the UI which was generated by Gemini. This was a limited time feature that they allowed us to choose the models, right? So yeah, now it is not possible to choose the model. I was just checking this. But yes, earlier it was model, it was possible to choose the model. But yeah, let me sync this in GitHub as well. So here I can connect this project again to my organization, or you can create an organization and then put this within your organization in GitHub. Now organizations are free in GitHub. So you see here the same single prompt app. This is how the code structure is in. On the left side we have Gemini. I have written here the naming also as Gemini. This one on the right is OpenAI. And if I look into the code structure, so both of them have exactly the same functionality, almost the same functionality. Maybe, yeah, here I have implemented some Supabase integration, which is not there on Gemini, but yeah, mostly other stuff should be same. So here you can see, yeah, definitely both the frameworks will be the same. So you have whiteconfig.ts and here also there is whiteconfig.ts, exactly the same file, because maybe this is the template over which this Lovable AI starts building the code. But yes, feedback form is what I generated. I gave prompt, and then based on the prompt it generated all these components. Let's see what is being generated in OpenAI. The look and feel is definitely what distinguishes these tools. Now if I go to the components, you have exactly similar number of components. So here feedback form, feedback list, feedback stats, feedback, there is header, this is feedback type icon. But yes, here you have header has something like this. Let's see if something feedback stats, how it compares with, because this is the 4 cards at the top. So you have the code like this, interface, so feedback stats, div, so card header and all. I'm finding little bit this one is looking me better. Gemini code is looking slightly better. The reason being, what I see is less number of classes. Here you have so many classes being used in these UI and elements. So this is looking to me more cleaner. Yeah, but can't say it's almost equal, right? So yeah, if I spend more time looking into it and then figuring out if there are any bugs and all, then that could be a different things. But overall, in first glance, both the codes are looking good. Let me look into the feedback list. Feedback list, one is the table, which is generated by OpenAI. The other one is sorted cards, right? So again, the same thing, like table is more complicated to code. But I would say that, yeah, Gemini is doing good job here. Here you have more classes, something like that here also. So yeah, that may be some occasional differences, but yes, hard to tell because first few lines are exactly the same, because you see here this exact interface feedback list props is defined the same way in both these classes, both these code bases. Feedback list, so definitely the naming is the same, so no much difference in these, but yes, I'll go through the generated code in detail and see if there are any suggestions or improvements in one over the other. That would be great point. But yes, as of now, no considerable difference between the code generated by different AIs. With respect to speed, yeah, definitely OpenAI I experienced was the fastest one. It was even faster than Anthropic. Gemini was second place, third place was Anthropic. So this is all the differences between these three AI models, and this is how I built a kind of a fully functional multi-tenant app with all the capabilities, taking care of all best practices. So this is customizable. I will look into accessibility aspect of this particular code tool. I'll also look into internationalization, so that way multi-tenancy from architectural aspects good, but yes, this is another very great functionality which was generated automatically by Anthropic was feedback filters, and the search I already demonstrated. Feedback type is you can choose a feedback type, and then this gets filtered by feedback type, and there is a filter by feedback tags. So this is tag filter, so it will choose all the feedback with that particular tag, and this is also working very fast, flawlessly, and this is all filters, so it's not like and, it is or. So when I choose wherever these tags are there, they will get listed. So for example, if I say bug report, it shows all the feedbacks which have bug report, and when I say pricing, it will also show either pricing or bug report. So this is or, not and. This is something we can document, maybe a user document or help, inline help will be helpful here. Other thing which I'm going to try is generating the sitemap for this, so that it is a SEO optimized application. Great. So this is all I have for today. Thank you for attending this session, and see you in the next sessions. Right? Great. See you. Bye. I will be staying for a few minutes. In case there are any queries or any doubts, you can post in the chat, and then I will answer. And in few minutes, if there are no further messages or queries, then I'll disconnect.